Oh look, it's Hawk with Speed Duel News back again. Hey everybody, it's Hawk here, as usual. And I am, once more, turning into a news anchor. You will not catch me in a suit, unless it is a tailored suit from the 20s or 30s, because you actually have full range of motion in those things. Because they are meant to be worn all day, and actually let you move. Which is awesome as far as the design concept goes. Anyway, history nerds, why I know this stuff. I have news about STP 7, not the full contents, you can find that on the internet, and it's pretty good overall, other than a bunch of Weevil cards getting rarity bumps that are now completely irrelevant, or mostly irrelevant, I should say. I mean, if someone's brewing some Parasite stuff, feel free, enjoy those. I'm personally invested in the rarity bump for Gaia. Gaia is getting a nice super printing, which will look really cool. Just kind of wish charging was in there. But we are getting Lava Golem commons, so all around good. But there's bad news with the good list of STP stuff. I'd like to thank Alibaba on the SDL Discord for this one. They posted it in the announcements thread, and this is coming directly from the Konami OTS portal. So I haven't seen Konami post it anywhere else. It's just in there. It might be somewhere else on the internet, but I haven't. A quick Google search didn't get me anything. And that is because of unforeseen production delays or issues, STP-7 will be delayed. They will tell us more. That was last week. I think it was Friday. Might have been last Friday. I can't remember exactly offhand. But anyway, that's irritating. It's not the end of the world, but it is irritating. It does, however, sort of, well, I don't want to say prove, but it gives me more evidence to my general theory about what the hell happened with midterm destruction. And that is the fact that they got out of Belgium quickly and generally unplanned. The general quality of the cards, the slapdash manner in which this all happened, the fact that it's only in English, just a lot of weird crap all happening on top of the other weird stuff going on in Europe is telling me that something is going on in a corporate structuring environment with Konami in the entire EU. I mean, like, the literal EU, not just Konami EU generally. Like, something's going on there, like tax laws are changing or something or another. I don't actually know. Having been a blue-collar worker for over a decade at this point, this screams of management fucked up somewhere and is desperately trying to unfuck it. That's my general impression here. So one of two things happened. Either A, they were planning on moving it to America and the move did not go smoothly or well, or two, they were not planning on moving to America and they had to do it quickly, which is why it's a mess. End result's the same for us, but that would explain why the entirety of the EU, and I'm talking Konami EU, not literally just the EU in this instance, does not have midterm destructions and why it's only in one language. Because I'm pretty sure the French Canadians would like it in French, and I'm certain Central America and South America and Mexico, I'm calling them specifically because they're part of North America, would all like it in either Portuguese or Spanish. I'm sure a bunch of them speak English, but I'm pretty sure they would like it in their native language. I completely sympathize with that. That is gotta be irritating as hell. Or you're all just taking pictures with, you know, your phone and having it Google Translate, which gets weird shit to happen. But hey, whatever you gotta do. But yes, with this random delay here for production issues, it's telling me that this was either, again, half-assed or not planned in the first place. And the reason for this is simple, because if this was planned, you would just send it to the factory that makes all of the actual TCG stuff already for America, and they would just have figured out the coding by now. You wouldn't have ran into this problem. You wouldn't be shipping stuff that looks this fucked. Because this isn't, what was that? What was the last one? Was that El Dorado? Was that the one with the gold rare? I think that was El Dorado. That's the one with the gold rares that are all messed up and kind of look like garbage and really gaudy. Some of them look fine, but a lot of them do not look very good. And Konami got a lot of backlash over that, justifiably, because a lot of them are bad. And so Konami kind of understands they can't do that because it pisses people off. Now, yes, Konami doesn't super care, But I think that did hit them financially. And honestly, Konami has been making some weird decisions which, to me, kind of denote that they understand that they're getting hit financially and they're trying to figure out how to not do that. Like, Worlds being only invite is kind of telling me they're trying to save money. Which is stupid, because that's the thing you don't try to save money on. You call that, you put that all under advertisement, and you put that under there for your expenses, and I think you can write that off at a certain level. I don't know offhand, I'm not a giant corporate guy. But I'm just saying, you do that because it's huge advertisement. It's weird that they didn't, but it's Konami, and they're going to be Konami about this. Because they're not going to say anything. We have no concept of what the hell is going on here. Which is why my theory is the fact that this wasn't planned. Because the coding is what appears to be screwed. The actual printing on the card is generally fine, except for the secrets. Those are kind of screwed up, and they've got lots of dings on them, but I haven't seen a ding on a common yet. All I've seen is lots of air bubbling, which is a coding issue. And you would think that that would have been worked out. And the fact that Midterm Destruction has this level of bad quality, like, this isn't just gaudy looking or funky looking gold crap on it. This is like physical damage to the card, which is unacceptable. Like, that is the ratio of this. Like, I got lucky. 2 of my boxes are fine and 1 is not. Honestly, I would say the Midterm Destruction boxes, based off what I've seen on the internet, it's about a 50-50. You got a 50-50 of it's probably okay, maybe one of them's a little, like, slightly bent on a corner, which I agree, that's bullshit. Like, fuck that. But then you'll get one that's just utterly scuffed. You'll get like 2 just completely scuffed secrets out of there, and then the commons won't look all that zesty either. It's very, very odd. And that denotes, again, to me, a rushed production cycle. This is also why I don't think Speed's dead. I'm just going to regurgitate this point, because I'm going to keep doing that until people get it in their fucking head. I don't think Speed's dead because you don't move an entire production line across the ocean to run one thing. Well, 2 if we're counting STP 7. You don't do that. That's a giant waste of money and time and manpower and all that crap, because Speed requires the goofy coding, which is not standard. That's not a thing that goes on anything. I don't have any Digimon cards that have stuff like that on there. Like, it's not a thing that is usually printed. It's not a normal foiling technique or anything. So it's, I don't know how, like, bespoke or top secret or anything it is, but it is weird and clearly is a little finicky, just based upon my own eyes on Midterm Destruction. It is apparently a finicky process that it takes a while to get right. So to me, that looks like they kind of had to rush this one. Or this had to be done in a much shorter timeline than they were hoping. Because again, you don't do this if you were going to scrap this. You just scrap it. Like, why would you go through that level of effort in an attempt to do this? Because it's not like Speed Duel R&D is all that much. Okay, and this is not me shitting on the Speed Duel designers. Okay, like, the last 2 boxes for skills have been really cool. I'm still a little annoyed about the reprints of Battle City. I'm going to keep calling Streets that, because it's not that it was that many reprints. It's the fact that a bunch of those reprints sucked ass, and Seeker's deck was a non-functional garbage pile. And Arcana's deck wasn't very good either, but I've bitched about those enough. Anyway, the skills that are good in there are all interesting. Iron Grit is interesting, Heart of a Warrior is interesting, the Slime, both of them are interesting. I mean, hell, even Arcana's stupid Now You See Me thing is interesting. Using Dark Magician as a draw engine, a la Blue Eyes, is kind of neat. Yugi's Ultimate Wizardry skill's kind of cool. We don't really have anything to abuse with it, except Breaker, who's on Limit 3, which is much less impressive, but I'm just saying, I don't think he was off Limit 3, it would catapult that deck to anything crazy, but it's cool. It's one of those things. And there's just a bunch of interesting stuff going on, like Battle City Siren's an okay skill. There was interesting things that happened, and even the skills that are bad, outside of Seeker, his are just stupid. Even the bad skills, like Weevil's Parasite, is it Parasite? The frickin' Parasite skill is interesting, if not necessarily good. And then we get to Light of Destruction, which has, realistically, 3 bad skills. Yeah, I'm saying that there's 3 bad skills. Alright? I'm being nice to Neos Wise Man because it does work, and there is a strategy you can build. I don't think it's a very competent strategy, but it's interesting and it's a unique gameplay style. I don't like either of Sartorius's, and I know people are cooking with Destructive Fate, but I am not going to call Destructive Fate good just because Cup of Ace exists and you can pay 2,000 life points to have a fucking pot of greed, okay? I'm not going to call that skill good because of that. Cup of Ace is good because it draws you 2 cards. The skill is only good with Cup of Ace, and if you're trying to do the world skip, which works about 1/3 of the time, meaning you are going to have a net loss ratio. It's just a really stupid thing to play. I hate it. It annoys me. It doesn't actually help Arcanas at all. It's getting irritating. And then Magician's Scales is just a stupid skill. Fuck you. And then there's Dig Site Inspection, which is just... It doesn't even anger me. It's just bad. It's worse Switcheroo and worse looking into the future, okay? And looking into the future is way better than Switcheroo, and Switcheroo is way better than Dig Site. So, there you go. Everything else is at least interesting. The Moki Moki skill is funny. Zane's skill is really good. Plasma got murdered because it requires you to discard a card, but even that, you get to start with Plasma in your hand, and it doesn't start on the field, it starts as a skill, and then it turns into a continuous spell when you activate it. So that's something. Still not good, but it's at least interesting, and if you're going to be bad, at least be interesting while you're bad. Major Paleontology is fantastic. Straight out of Neospace is amazing. I like both of Hasselberry's skills, though frankly Food Chain is probably better. It's much better than Dino Brain Immunity, but Dino Brain Immunity is at least fun. And there's interesting things to do there. It's not terrible, but Food Chain's definitely more combo brain, and honestly people went back to frickin' I've got Dino DNA for stuff. I will be doing a deck list on one of those eventually. I just don't know. I'm gonna work on it. Chinstrap's cooking something crazy, and I might swipe one of his. If you're watching this, Chinstrap, I love the Dino list you've been making. Dude, what the hell are you doing? I don't know where your brain goes sometimes, man, but I shouldn't say shit. Anyway, I have rambled on far longer than intended about this. This was meant to be short. It is not, and you all know me. I can't make shit short. Anyway, STP 7 is delayed. It sucks. Konami will say it eventually. Maybe. Who knows? And I'm thinking this is all because this was not planned, and it's just either corporate incompetence or stupidity. Those are not the same thing. Anyway, remember to like, share, comment, all that wonderful stuff. Peace out, everybody.